recently there was a conservative activist by the name of Charlie Kirk, which I'm pretty sure everybody's aware of. He was shot and killed at a university in Utah by a 22-year-old student. I think his name is Tyler something.
Well, do we know it was him? That he's the suspect, but
they have him.
Are we
in
100%
custody.
sure? Has he been convicted? Let's just say they have a suspect. They have a suspect. He hasn't been convicted yet, but they have a suspect in
They're
custody.
like 99.9% sure that he's the one that killed Charlie Kirk.
That 0.1% means something. Ask all them dads that been on Maury.
You're not trying to. A lot of people say there's a lot of speculation because the way that he shot Kirk was very calculated. Like it was a marksman that did that, like somebody who's been in combat before, because the aim, he shot him right in the neck. I don't know if he got him in an artery or the jugular vein, but once he shot him in the neck, blood just spilled out and he died right there. So they're thinking that it's not, it wasn't him, just based off the accuracy that the shot let out. So they're saying, oh, a 22-year-old couldn't have done that. But if you look on the flip side, he lives in Utah. They do a lot of hunting out in that area. He could have been hunting from the time he was like 6 years old and knows how to shoot a gun and to get animals at a long range. So it could have been him, but you might be right. He probably isn't convicted yet. He's just because they already got two people who thought was the shooter, but they let them go. Mm-hmm. So
exactly. So I'm not too keen on stating that they got the shooter just yet. They got suspect number one, right? I think like you that the shot itself, the way that
they thought it was an assassin,
right? The way that it went down, I thought it looked like a professional. But what do I know?
A professional hit.
I never shot a rifle in my life. I don't know the exact circumstances that in which the assassination took place. But I wanted to talk more about the public reaction to it as opposed to the actual deed that was done. I just want to say first and foremost that it was unfortunate that something like that happened, especially in front of a group of college students, mm-hmm. and most importantly in front of his wife and two children.
They were there?
Mm-hmm. So they witnessed their father die.
I don't think so. Because the wife when she came home, she was like to her daughter, who's I think about 4 or 5. She said, "Mommy, I missed you. Where's Daddy?" So I don't think they were there.
Wait, all right. So yeah, I wanted to talk about the public reaction to Charlie Kirk's assassination. I think first and foremost that him being shot in front of a bunch of college students, was not right. That's something that no college student, no person should have to experience firsthand. And the fact that his wife was present during the assassination as well, I feel for her. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of his stances on things.
But nobody deserves to go out like that.
Yeah, putting that aside, the action itself was a heinous action, and it should be discouraged. It shouldn't be glorified. This country was founded on freedom of speech and expression. He should have been able to voice his ideas, his beliefs. In a safe space, a college space. He was supposed to be there. It was the start of his tour. And for him to be shot just because he wanted to share his beliefs is not right. It's unjust. And if you think about it, I think about it from my perspective. I'm here on a podcast talking about my views on a particular situation every episode. Somebody could be watching the podcast and decide that they don't agree with my stance on a certain thing. I would hope that they didn't disagree strongly enough that they would seek me out and shoot me in front of my family, or shoot me, period, right? We should be allowed to voice our beliefs and concerns, and it be respected. You don't have to like what I say. You don't even have to listen to what I say. But what you shouldn't do is attack the messenger, attack the person who is expressing their belief. You can always ignore it. No one is forcing the students on campus to stand there and listen to Charlie Kirk talk about his beliefs. No one is forcing you to go on YouTube and watch his videos, right? To be honest, I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was until after he got shot.
Really?
Right. I didn't know who he was. I didn't watch a single video. It was after he got shot and people started to make a big deal about him that I started to look him up and watch some videos and kind of get an idea of who this person was and what his beliefs were. Now, as I said before, my beliefs and his beliefs are diametrically opposed to one another. I do not agree with a lot of the things that he's said, a lot of his rhetoric. But that being said, I had no malice towards him when I heard the things that he said. I didn't feel like I needed to go out there and physically harm him. I think the best way to deal with someone like that is to just not give him your attention, right? He has a platform because people pay attention to him. He has a platform because people give his videos views and likes and comments, right? So if you're worried about that, don't add to his viewership. Don't add to his subscriptions, right? Don't take justice into your own hands and feel like you're about to save the world from someone who's spewing hate speech or whatever and kill him. That's not how we handle things here in this country, because it's a slippery slope. If that's what you're gonna do, what's to say that they won't find one of the liberal mouthpieces out there spewing their beliefs and shooting them? Right? We can't do that. We can't do this eye for an eye thing, because it's already out there in the news cycle when you have prominent Republicans going out there and placing blame on the Democratic Party for the assassination, saying that Democrats should assume responsibility.
And we don't know if this person was a Democrat.
Right. We don't know what their affiliations were.
He could have been a conservative.
Right.
But he didn't share the same ideologies as Charlie Kirk.
Right.
That could have been the case.
Right. Not every conservative is made the same. Not every conservative is a Trumper. Not every conservative believes exactly the way that Charlie Kirk believes and sees the world his way.
This young man, his name is Tyler Robinson. He probably had a problem with Charlie because he thought he was a fascist. And he thought he, I guess, didn't like transgender folks, which he blatantly said that doesn't like transgender folks, but he doesn't agree with them stepping into like female sports or vice versa. But it looks like he engraved the bullets with anti-fascist statements, and also he referenced video game quotes on the bullets that he engraved when he shot Charlie Kirk. So I don't know where on the political spectrum this man falls into, but the Republicans should not be pointing the finger at anybody.
Because what good does pointing the finger do? All you do is divide the nation even more. We are already a fractured country. You know, it wasn't until Trump started running for office that I felt this country started to devolve in terms of its political.
Because he made it okay.
Its political environment. Because you never saw politicians really getting assassinated, or the amount of threats on these.
We haven't seen these type of acts since the 60s. Right.
But it's like it's becoming so commonplace. Like I remember
and that was a tumultuous time too.
I remember during the election, the first election, when they were putting cherry bombs in people's mailboxes, and there was death threats, and this last campaign cycle with Trump, where they tried to assassinate him while he was at a rally.
Twice, I think they tried to assassinate Trump.
Those two Democrats in Minnesota who were killed, you know, and now Charlie Kirk, who was not a politician, I like to say. He did not work for Trump.
But he did help him.
At least in any official capacity. But, you know, the treatment that he's getting is crazy. They flew his body in Air Force 2. He's getting the Medal of Freedom.
Posthumously.
Yeah. Trump is doing a lot.
Yeah, because Charlie Kirk went on the campaign trail with him, and he's the one that said that Charlie Kirk gained Gen Z's trust, and they made it cool to be conservative. Well, he made it cool. Charlie made it cool to be a conservative person in college, because that's where his aim was, to get the younger generation to become conservatives. Because a lot of our generation, there's not a lot of millennial conservatives that I see, but there's a lot of Gen Zers that can sway to the conservative side.
I'd be careful in saying that, because us as New Yorkers, we tend to live in a bubble and we think the world thinks like we do. But outside of New York, it's a very
Except from what I see.
It's a very different world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of I've met young Republicans in New York. There's a lot of young Republicans. But he was definitely Kirk was definitely a tool to, and
he went on debate shows.
Get the younger generation on his side.
He goes on podcasts and he sits with the host and he shares his views. And if you have a big voice, people are going to listen. And that's what happened. And that's what garnered all the support that he's getting now. Well, got before he died as well.
But, I just want to reiterate, it was a sad thing that happened. It's never a good thing when someone is killed, especially in the way that he was. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Those children grow up fatherless. And so I wouldn't wish that on his family or anyone's family. And I'll just leave it there.
Okay. Well, his wife is, she's going to continue to carry his message. She said you guys thought that the message was going to slow down because Charlie's no longer here. It's only going to revamp and gain more esteem. So we'll see what happens in the future. I don't know if she will be the voice that takes over his, but she said that his message is not going to just die with him. It's going to continue and it's going to be more powerful. So we'll see what happens.
She has the right to say whatever she wants to say.
On behalf of her husband, right? Yeah.
But I'll just react to what she said, where she stated that we think that the message is going to stop. To say that one person acted on behalf of an entire party is just ridiculous. And I'll just leave it there.
So I want to get into some happier news. Last week we talked about football, so we're going to talk about it again.
I thought you said happier news.
Yeah.
You're a Giants fan.
Listen, that happened already. Listen.
Y'all got smacked silly.
Listen, I'm just happy that the sport is back. And
I don't know why you're happy. It might as well still be the offseason.
I'm just happy that the sport is back.
They played 3 preseason games, y'all. Everybody else played 2.
I like watching football. It doesn't matter what team. Yeah, I root for the Giants, but I do like watching football. Even though my Giants are not what I expected them to be, I'm still happy that the sport is back. Yeah. It gives me something to watch on Sundays. The Colts? No, we lost to the Commanders.
Miami Dolphins is the ones that got smacked by the Colts. Y'all got smacked by the Commanders.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so the little Giants lost to the Washington Commanders. Yeah. So what's your outlook on the season?
You know what the problem is?
Y'all playing for Archie Manning?
No. The reason why the Giants are in the situation that they're in right now is because our O-line is trash. We don't have an O-line, and we haven't had an O-line for the last 10 years.
That means your GM is trash.
Since we won the Super Bowl, our O-line has just been declining, and they're not putting any type of emphasis into making it better. Look at what Daniel Jones did against the Dolphins.
So Daniel Jones was the problem.
He threw for like 200 yards. He threw like every possession. I think they said they scored.
That means the Giants, whoever's running that team,
he wasn't the problem.
It
was the
quit.
O-line. The O-line is always the problem, because this is not this was Daniel. I think it was his 3rd coach.
No, he had Daboll
Shermer.
for 2 years.
You had Shermer.
He had Daboll. Who
was the one before Daboll? Joe Judge.
Yeah, for 1 year.
For 2 years. Joe Judge was there for 2 years.
Yeah, but Danny
Dimes was there since like 2019.
Are you sure?
So I think Shermer was the coach.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
He had Daboll for 2 years.
He had Daboll. This is Daboll's 3rd year, but there was Joe Judge. Remember they sat Eli Manning down and put Daniel Jones in? And I think Shermer was the coach at that time.
I don't know. I don't pay too much.
Anyway, I think I know what I'm talking about.
To the little Giants.
Stop calling them that. You want them little giants to come up in here?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, if you y'all all welcome to come
Exactly.
and sit on random conversations, and talk about.
But anyway,
Cancun.
Look at case everywhere that an ex-Giant went, they've garnered success.
Exactly.
Saquon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So now we're looking at Daniel Jones. Yeah, it's only week 1,
Daniel
but it
Jones
feels
might be
like
MVP
deja
candidate.
vu all over again.
Yep.
With Saquon.
Yep.
Even though we were mad to see Saquon go, we were kind of happy to see Daniel Jones go, because it was like, all right, that's it.
At least y'all paid him.
We've had you for 6 years and you ain't do nothing. Except for, I think we went to 1 playoffs with him, and then we got smacked by the Eagles in the next game.
I mean, it's pretty routine.
But anyway, look at what he's doing in Indianapolis. Yeah. We'll see if it continues. Like I said, is 1 game. It could be a testament to how good they are or how bad the Dolphins are.
So who do you think is going to win more games? The Giants?
The Colts.
The little Giants or the Colts?
The Colts.
All right,
the Colts have an easier division. The Giants have the hardest schedule in the league. We're
How do
probably
you have the hardest schedule in the league?
According to the
No,
statistic,
you do not have
we have the hardest schedule.
The Colts didn't even make the playoffs last year. Y'all
But
don't
we
have the hardest schedule
in the league.
No, I don't.
We're
believe
playing
that.
the AFC West.
You can't be the worst
You
team.
have the NFC East.
Yeah, the NFC East is...
The AFC West is the best division in football right now.
The AFC West?
Yes. With the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos, and I'm missing somebody, and the Raiders.
The Broncos ain't nothing. The Raiders weren't nothing last year.
They might be something this year.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But based off of last year's strength of schedule, you can't go off of week 1 and automatically determine strength of schedule. Anything can happen week 1.
You obviously don't watch ESPN like that, because they've been saying for the longest time that the Giants have the hardest schedule in the league.
ESPN also said that Daniel Jones was washed. He's done. And week 1.
Like I said, it was week 1.
Right.
But from what we saw, he looks better. He's never done that all last season with the Giants.
Yeah.
So like I said, it could be a testament to how good the Colts are or how bad the Dolphins are.
That's a testament to how bad the little Giants are.
The Dolphins could be very bad this season.
Oh, they're going to be bad.
Because Tua I think needs to retire. He needs to retire. I don't know why he's staying in the league.
I would love to see Tua with Sean Payton, because Tua is a quarterback in the same vein of like a Drew Brees. I think
we have the 49ers, we have the Packers, we have the Vikings who could be good.
How about to have the number 1 pick?
We have the Eagles twice, obviously they're in our division. We have the Chiefs after this game, Sunday Night Football.
They're gonna stop a mud hole in y'all.
Like, we have the hardest schedule. We have the Lions. We're playing the NFC North as well. This is the hardest schedule in the league right now.
They're trying to give the Giants home cooking. The league said the league is better when the biggest markets are good. So how do we get the biggest markets good? We got to get them the high draft picks, let them hit on those high draft picks, and then they're good again. Arch Manning is going to go there. Is it a surprise?
Then what's the point in getting Jackson Dart?
Wait, Jackson Dart ain't even starting. He's 3rd string.
He's not 3rd string. He's 2nd. Jameis is 3rd.
I don't know how he's 2nd over Jameis.
Because now they're saying, oh, are you going to start Jackson Dart over Russell Wilson?
Well, you know what? I hope they do start Jackson Dart, because that's one less team I have to worry about getting Arch Manning. And
You're such a dweeb.
Y'all gonna mess that up too. Y'all gonna mess that up too. The league is trying to give y'all another Manning.
I already told you my sentiments on the Giants. We need to fix the O-line. Once we fix the O-line, we'll be all right. Because Russell was running for his life last week. And the running backs couldn't even get past the line of scrimmage because the defense was already in their face. How are we going to win football games like that? You can't. How are you going to score like that? You can't.
But they scored 6 points, so they can score.
I'm talking about red zone, throw a touchdown type of scoring, not kicking field goals.
All right. Are we done talking about the little Giants?
I was about to, but you keep talking.
Can we wrap this up,
We
please?
could talk about teams that are actually winning.
Can we talk about the Jets?
We could talk about the Packers.
Can we talk about the Jets?
No, I don't want to talk about the Jets right now. We're talking about the Jets after the Packers.
Why we want to talk? All right. Whatever. Let's talk about the Packers.
The Packers are doing really well, and I think I told you last week that we have to watch out for them.
I mean, I always like Jordan Love.
I think they're going to be a blockage to the Eagles getting back to the Super Bowl.
Think so.
I think so.
I
think so. Their defense is great. Did you see how they manhandled Washington?
It's 1 week. Take it easy.
Washington went to the NFC Championship. They went to the NFC Championship last year.
It's 1 week.
And they didn't get rid of any players. They added players, and they manhandled Washington. Yes, they did. I watched that game.
They beat them.
Jaden Daniels looked like a shell of himself last week.
Michael Parsons does not automatically make that defense.
And I'm not just saying it's just Micah.
That's the only thing that changed. And
then everybody, because the Packers were good last year too.
Right, they are good. I like the Packers, right? But to say that they automatically jumped the Eagles as the number one threat to come out of the NFC, that's ridiculous.
Who did they play last week? The week before.
You see what I'm saying? The Eagles lost their number one defensive player before the first snap of the game last week. That has to be taken into account. And they still beat the Cowboys.
Who did they beat?
Jalen Hurts played a great game. He did everything that was needed to be made. He made every play that needed to be made. Every run was a back-breaking run. Every completion was a back-breaking completion.
So they beat the two teams that went to the NFC Championship. No, the Commanders didn't though. But they went far into the playoffs, and they beat both of them.
The Commanders did go to the NFC Championship last year.
No, I'm talking about, the Lions. I was about to say the two teams that went, but the Lions didn't go. I think the Commanders beat the Lions. Yeah. No, it wasn't the first round. It was the divisional.
Round. They got punched right in the mouth. Yeah, remember they had a bye week.
Yeah, because it was the number one. Oh,
right.
Yeah, but it wasn't the first round.
That's the first.
It was the second round for all of the NFL.
That's what I said. I said they got bounced in their first round. Oh,
you said there. I didn't hear there. My bad. My bad. I'll cut that out.
No, keep it.
No, I'm gonna cut that out. Remember to cut this out. But yeah, I think the Packers are gonna be a threat to all of the NFL.
Yeah, the Packers are going to be good. Jordan Love is a really good quarterback.
And I really like the Packers because I can't stand the Eagles. So if it does come down to those two teams, I would much rather the Packers.
I mean, I really don't care.
You could talk about your Jets now.
I really don't care which one of those teams win because they both got black quarterbacks. So I'm rooting for that. As it pertains to my Jets, it was a heartbreaking loss. It was a gut-wrenching loss. You know, it wouldn't be a stretch to say that I sat in the dark for like...
You didn't sit in no dark. Shut up. You even think that they were going to win a game this season.
I mean...
I'm shocked that you're sad.
Anybody watching this...
I'm shocked that you're sad.
As a Jets fan, understands the roller coaster of emotions we go through on a weekly basis, especially before the season.
I don't understand why you're sad.
We want to win so badly, it hurts. All right.
But you sat here last week and said that they should tank the season. So why are you sitting in the dark?
I went my entire life.
You're so stupid.
My entire life, from the vaginal canal to sitting right here in front of y'all in front of this TV, and I have not seen the Jets win a Super Bowl. You understand that? You understand that? That is a sad thing to admit. And then for me to start the season off before the game starts thinking like, yo, let's just lose every game so we could go get a projected generational talent at quarterback and restart our franchise. I like our head coach. I think he's perfect. We just need to get... A coach is only as good as the pieces he has to coach. So we need to get him the pieces, right? And then they go out and they score 19 points at half. At half, the Jets would be lucky to score 21 points for a whole game. They scored 19 points at half. I almost freaking fell out my goddamn chair. I was excited. They gave me hope again. And then they went and freaking gagged the game at the end. So, you know, it was disheartening. It's hard to talk about. But I'll say this one thing. Last week was the most fun I've had watching the Jets play in a long time. And in the last few seasons, especially with the whole Zach Wilson experiment, you know, you get excited every now and then when he make like a crazy pass.
All about him.
Because he had nice arm talent. But, you know, you never get excited for a whole game. You know, but the Jets have to get rid of this stigma that the Jets are gonna Jets. Because
they are gonna jet.
The whole point of that, at no point in that game did I feel comfortable that we were gonna win the game. Like, that's because I was just thinking to myself, like,
you should start feeling comfortable.
They're gonna find a way.
You should start feeling comfortable.
And when freaking, I think it was Gibson, freaking fumbled that kick return. I was like, there we go. There it is. Mm-hmm. There it is. Mm-hmm. Right. I was ready to cut the whole team after that. Right?
Everybody pack it up.
I was like, cut it, sell it. Like
everybody pack it up.
We the New Jersey Jets now. But yeah, so that being said, and having a week to reflect on it, I think we're in a good headspace. I think we're in a good space. Period.
Y'all not
I
beating
think we
the
have
Bills,
a great
though.
head coach. I think we way better than the little Giants.
Y'all
And I
not
think-
beating the Bills,
I
though.
think we're gonna have.
So you're about to be 0-2.
We beating the Bills, and
Y'all about to be
the score is going to be 28-21.
and you're right on track to tanking.
28-21 Jets. You heard it.
Y'all right on. Listen, I want to actually talk about some comments that Draymond Green made about Josh Allen.
What
He
said?
basically said that he's not that guy. Let me.
Josh
look
Allen
it
is
up.
that guy.
He said he will never win. You will never win with Josh Allen. Let me just get the quote from Draymond.
Did he say why he
quickly.
said that?
So Josh Allen is not the guy. Quote, he's never going to get it done when it matters the most. And so I don't care how Herculean of a comeback effort you have at home in week 1. He's never going to be the guy that's going to come out and win a championship and be that guy.
Well, you just gave him bulletin board material.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying y'all not going to win.
No, that's fine.
Because Josh is going to look at them like, oh, I can't get... What if the Bills win the Super Bowl this year? What's his name going to say?
The Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
No, because he's the same type of person that
the
Draymond
league-
is talking
let me
about.
tell you something. The league
Lamar's
wants-
never going
Wait,
to
let me tell you
win. He's
something.
never
Let
going
me
to get
tell you something.
past the
Wait, time
AFC
out.
Championship.
Time
He's
out.
not.
Time out.
He's not because
Yo,
he
I'm about to throw
always
a
had...
flag on the plate. Time out.
He
Wait,
doesn't have
no,
the people.
wait.
Every time he gets to almost the mountaintop, somebody's going to drop the ball. Look at what happened last week with
So he won't throw the ball.
Derrick Henry.
He won't throw the ball. He just run it.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
It's not so
he'll run
much
it himself.
Lamar. I guess it's the people around him because the people around him always dropping the ball. Zay Flowers dropped the ball. What's his name? The tight end, Mark Andrews, dropped the ball. Freaking Derrick Henry fumbled the ball last week. They could have won.
Watch the Ravens fly. The Ravens is going to the Super Bowl.
I
this
don't
year.
know.
For sure.
You said that last year.
For sure.
And where they went. They didn't even get to the championship last year.
You ever seen
He's always going to get beat by Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
You ever seen
or
that-
maybe Joe Burrow.
You ever seen an act of God? You ever seen that?
What is that, a movie?
No. You never seen an act of God?
You mean,
I
like
saw
an
it-
actual act of God?
I saw it last year in that game. That was an act of God that Mark Andrews dropped that ball. That was
So I guess it wasn't meant to be.
right. Last year it wasn't meant to be.
So this
it
year
wasn't
going to
meant
be any different?
Yeah, I
They
feel
should
it.
have beat the Bills on Sunday.
I feel it.
Last Sunday.
I feel it.
They should have beat the Bills and they
I
didn't.
went to bed on Sunday, and I was visited in a dream.
Because once I fell asleep watching that game and they were up plenty. I'm like, all right, Ravens got
Well,
it.
I heard
I
it.
woke up next morning. I'm like, what the hell? 41-40 Bills. I'm like, what happened?
Well, I was watching First Things First, and Kevin Wild said something that really resonated with me. He was like, "The Ravens are the best team in football, and the only team that could beat the Ravens is the Ravens. No one beats them; they beat themselves. No one beats them."
So
Right?
that
No
goes
one
to
made
show
no one
you
made
they
Mark
will
Andrews
never
drop that
reach the-
ball.
they will never reach
the
the
fluke
mountaintop.
the fluke fumble from Derrick Henry last week. Like no one beats them. They beat themselves. So if they can they control their destiny.
they're going to do great in the regular season. It's the playoffs.
Nah, they control their destiny.
It's the playoffs that's always an issue.
I don't know if they need to go to church as a team. I don't know if
You
they
don't
need
know
to
if they
like
don't already. They
go
probably
go see
do.
a shaman or something like that. They need to get the hoodoo off of them.
They got DeAndre Hopkins now.
But yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is done. He barely catch a pass a game. He probably can make 1 to 2 catches a game.
It's always hard to see these prolific wideouts and then
Yeah,
they're
they
going
waste-
from team to team to team every year. When they were the hottest thing on the market like 5 years ago, now they're just fizzled out. It's sad to see.
Yeah, like Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, like
When he was
Odell.
on the Little Giants, he was super
I don't
popular. He
believe
was
that
really
name
good.
was trademarked, so I don't think
What,
you
the
should be
Little Giants?
calling them the Little Giants. That's not what their name is.
The Little
It's the
Giants.
New York Giants.
It's the New York Little
Stop
Giants.
being disrespectful.
The New York Little Giants.
I could call the Jets the little paper airplanes.
That's fine. But that's in response to what I'm saying, so I don't really, you don't really get no
You're
points
such
for
a
that,
jerk,
right?
man.
But yeah, like that's what I don't like about the
DeAndre
NFL
Hopkins.
because players like DeAndre Hopkins,
Look at Amari Cooper. He had to retire.
players like DeAndre Hopkins and Amari Cooper get stuck with one team because of
And
the
they
way
never win.
the way that
They never
the
won.
NFL is structured. It's not like the NBA where after 4 years I could take my talent somewhere else. As long as they keep that damn franchise tag in play, you're never gonna see the great players win like how they should win because they won't be able to move around like how they want to move. But at some point, I have a feeling like within the next 5-10 years, that franchise tag is gonna go away. And once that goes away, you're gonna see a lot more player movement. A lot of teams are gonna have to do right by the players because they're gonna be like, yo,
They're gonna start revolting.
Yeah, they're gonna sign these little like 2-year contracts with a 3rd-year opt out,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be moving around. And then you'll see players like DeAndre Hopkins reach the mountaintop like they should have had instead of spending.
He's still young too. I think I'm the same age as him. He's like what, 33?
In football years, that's old, especially for a receiver.
He got at least 2 more years left.
He's done. He's cooked.
He got 2
I'm
more.
sorry to say it. He turned into a possession receiver that only gets like 1 target a game.
I think he has at least 2 more years. What's his name? Devontae Adams. I don't think he's done.
Yeah, but he's good.
And me and him is around the same age as well. So what makes him different from DeAndre Hopkins?
It's just the way they took care of their body. Not every 33 is built the same. Look at Jerry Rice.
I don't even remember DeAndre Hopkins being hurt much.
I
think I remember Devontae being hurt a lot, but I don't recall DeAndre Hopkins being hurt that much.
It doesn't matter. It's like
you're talking about the skill set.
As you age, and he was never a burner either. He was more of a 50-50 ball kind of guy. Now you older and you lost a step, and you're a 50-50 guy. That's not, you're not making life easy on your quarterback. So they're not gonna go to you like how they was going to you before because you're no longer like money on those 50-50 balls now. Now it's like it's really a 50-50 ball.
You either catch it or you don't.
Right. It's either you catch it or the other team catch it. And you got these 25-year-old young bucks that you jumping with now. Right? And he lost a step.
Poor DeAndre.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he finds a team that he could win with.
Yeah, go to the Little Giants.
So the next topic is happy wife, happy life. You had brought this up. You saw a video. If you want to just summarize what you saw.
I mean, well, in the video, it was stating that it was an Andrew Tate video. But just listen to the message. He was just basically saying, happy life, happy wife. Happy wife, happy life is a real thing. He basically saying that, when the husband is unhappy, life still goes on. He still goes out. He still works. He still brings home the bacon. He still does what he's supposed to do, and he doesn't drag on anyone else in the family. But he stated that when a wife is miserable, she makes it her mission to make everybody else miserable, right? Which is why it's happy life, happy wife, happy life. Because if she's miserable, she's gonna make your life miserable, right? And it kind of resonated with me because, I mean, in my situation, if I'm ever feeling, down or dejected, or if I'm angry or anything like that, the most I'll do is just be quiet. I'll still go about doing what I need to do, but I'm not going to be doing it with all smiles. I might not give you long-winded answers to questions. I might answer yes or no, but juxtapose that to if like my wife is angry, everyone is going to know it. Number one,
because women have higher emotional intelligence. That's why.
You kill me with that. Emotional intelligence to me is someone who's angry but can control it and not unleash it on everyone around them, right? Emotional intelligence is not, I'm angry, so you're all gonna know it, and I'm gonna just make everybody miserable. That's not emotional intelligence.
But it's not like we're just coming out angry. I'm pretty sure you were made aware in a calm manner what the issue was, and then you did nothing to change such issue, and that's when the anger came out. No?
No.
Okay.
Just be miserable sometimes. It's like, come on. You hear it every husband I know. And then it's not even specific to man and wife. If you're in a relationship with your woman, if she's miserable, you gonna be miserable. You know what I'm saying?
But do you know the reason behind her being miserable?
Sometimes y'all just be miserable, just be miserable. Sometimes,
that's not true.
Sometimes
that is not true.
Sometimes
I don't understand why you think we're just waking up just miserable.
Like
we like to be miserable. No, we don't like to be miserable.
Or sometimes you might be on your period and you just be miserable too. And it's like, okay, you're on your period.
That's okay. At least you know the reasoning behind why.
But that doesn't give you a right to be a tyrant. Like, just be quiet. Just go in the corner.
Listen, people handle their situations in a different way.
Right. But we can be in agreement that if you're say okay, let's just take like menstruation for instance. If you're going through that time of the month, we're in agreement that just because you're going through that time of the month, it doesn't give you the right to be angry and nasty towards everybody in the vicinity, right?
I can't
right?
Speak.
Yes or no?
I can't speak for all the women.
No, I'm asking you. All women ain't sitting here.
So me per se.
No,
yeah,
you.
No.
It doesn't make it right.
It's right.
Thank you. That's all I want to say. That's all I want. Because a lot of women will take that and use that as an excuse for their bad behavior. And it's like, no, because the thing is, men get upset about that because we don't have anything that excuses our bad behavior. You see what I'm saying? If we upset about something that upset us at work, if we upset about something that upset us at home, if we have just upset, like last week, the Jets lost, I was pissed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody, right? But I'm not going to freaking use that as an excuse to freaking like, bark, rip somebody's head off for asking me a simple question or whatever. But sometimes I feel that when women are upset, they just unleash it on everybody. And it's not fair because we don't have anything to point to say like, well, don't be mad at me because of this. Don't be mad at me because of that. If I went to my wife and said, oh, I'm sorry I ripped your head off, but the Jets lost in such a fucking terrible manner. I just couldn't control myself. She'll be like, seriously, it's a game. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to hear that. So why we gotta keep giving you guys the pass for menstruation?
I don't know.
Especially because you born. That's your genetics. Like you predisposed for that. What? There's nothing to do with it. You have to learn to live with it, right? So I don't think that's a fair excuse for being nasty.
Like I said, I can't speak for all women. I don't carry on that way when I'm on my menstrual cycle. But the most I do is cry, but I cry to myself. But I cry by myself. I don't unleash any type of anger against anybody. And I know when I'm menstruating, I know how to tone it down.
And
certain women might not know how to tone it down, and you can't blame genetic. You can't blame them for the genetic makeup that they have.
Yeah, but then you can't blame us for the reaction that we have. Because you put us on the back foot. Now we defensive. Now we like, what the hell? You gotta understand, Monday through Friday, we going to work, we dealing with shit. When we come home, we don't want to deal with shit at home. So even if we understand that you're going through,
but you're gonna have to because it's home,
right? But even though we understand you're going through what you're going through, and we're sympathetic and empathetic to it, we still don't want to be treated like shit, right? It's not fair to us. Just like it's unfair to you that you guys have to go through that every month.
So when the menstruation process is happening, you should learn your partner, and deal with it accordingly.
So what you're saying is, some of these men.
That means if you know the person's gonna be catty, right? Because it's that time of the month. Just be to yourself. Yeah, you could talk to them. But I don't want to say walk around on eggshells, but just be cautious. Just be cautious of how you talk to them.
You're on eggshells. But I don't even want to get too much.
Just be cautious on how you talk to them.
I don't want to get too much in the weeds about menstruation because I just use that as an example. But there's plenty of other examples of women having attitudes. Like the attitude isn't for no. It has to have a reasoning behind it. I'll give you an example.
There has to be a reasoning behind it. They just can't wake up and be mad.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm like, say like. There's food in the fridge, right? We go to a party, we bring home some leftovers, right? I ate my leftovers because that's what you're supposed to do with leftovers. You eat them, right? But y'all leave your leftovers in the fridge for like 2-3 weeks to the point where I'm looking at it every day like, she done forgot about this, right? So then I pick it up and I eat it. And as soon as I eat it, that's when she wanted it. And then all of a sudden, it's World War freaking III. And it's like the most personal thing I ever did. I'm first of all, it's not like
did you ask?
She ain't want it.
You should have asked.
Right. But here's the other part, right? So you pissed off at me. So I'm like, you know what? You right. My bad. Right? I give you a sincere apology. I let you know that, yeah, I know it was your stuff. I should have asked you.
Anyway, go
right?
ahead.
I should have asked you for it, but I honestly didn't think that you wanted it because it had been in the fridge so damn long. I thought it was going to be mildew on that joint, right? I originally went to throw it away, but I realized it was still good. So I ate it. I'm sorry, right? And then if they're not in the mood to accept the apology, the fight rages on. It's like, why are we still arguing about this? I apologize sincerely. She's like, well, I wasn't ready to receive it. Like, what? What world is that? What world is that? And it happens. It happens. So it's like,
apart from that, have you ever heard of anybody else that has similar situations like that?
Yes. But that's just another example. But it's like sometimes women, they get angry and they hold on to things for an extended period of time. And no matter what you do, because, men are, and it's hard to deal with a woman when they're upset too, because sometimes they're upset with stuff at work. And so you come to them, they come to you and they're telling you about their stuff at work. And sometimes if you ever sit down with a woman and they explain their issues at work, it could be anywhere between a 5-minute conversation and a 45-minute conversation. So you sitting there listening. And while you're listening, you're coming up with great ideas and solutions on how to solve her problems, right? So when she's done, you over here like, babe, you know what? You should have did this. You should have did that. Next time, try this, try that. And then she'll turn around and be like, damn, I just want you to freaking listen. I don't want you to solve my problems. And you're like, well, damn, you just wasted 45 minutes of my time. I want to freaking sit and chill and watch TV. But now you biting my head off for trying to help you, right? So it's like, it's hard to try to find that balance, because on one minute you want me to listen, on the next minute you want me to be interactive. You should have said, like, you want me to interact with you and try to solve it.
So do you want to listen to my solutions or no?
Oh, so I have to every time.
Yeah, you gotta ask because you don't know where the mind space is.
That's crazy. You know why? Because a man's mind space is so different.
Yeah.
When we talk about
so
problems,
you have to learn.
When we talk about problems, we're trying to find solutions.
Same way the female has to learn how the male is, the male has to learn how the female is. You have to learn each other.
I know. I just feel like the male manual is like 2 pages long.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's not condensed like ours.
Yeah, and the female manual is like the Bible.
Yeah, it's not condensed. That's why I said
it
that
got chapters, verses.
We have higher emotional intelligence than men.
You don't have high emotional intelligence. You have more emotions that you deal with. It's like we would think that we have the same emotions: happiness, anger, sadness.
Y'all
confusion,
hold a lot of stuff in,
but you guys have like different. It's like we. Let's just take it in colors. Like we have red, y'all have indigo, y'all have
and we
different shades. Y'all have different shades of the emotion.
We can't help that,
right? So y'all are way more complex, and so it's hard. It's very hard for us to like get a handle on it, right? And then you have your little visitor that comes once a month, which kind of throws things on top of his head too. So it's like, you constantly moving. It's like you're constantly trying to hit a moving target. You don't know exactly how you're supposed
I just
to handle
Googled who has higher emotional intelligence.
Oh, so we'll be leaving it to Google to tell us, huh?
Yeah, AI.
That's not AI. That's not AI.
AI overview. Research consistently shows that women tend to have higher overall emotional intelligence than men, especially when measured with ability tests like MCS EIT. While women often score higher on aspects such as empathy and awareness of others' emotions, men may show strengths in emotional control and self-regard.
Emotional control and self-regard. Yeah, emotional control for sure. Because women hit men, I think, more than men hit women.
Studies show women often have higher scores in accurately perceiving, understanding, and expressing emotions.
Yeah, because everything is an emotional roller coaster with y'all. Y'all tell me a story. Y'all tell me a story. Y'all tell me, oh, this person made me feel this way when she did this and that and that. We'll come and be like, yo, work was all right. It was a lot of work, but it got done. Y'all be like, it was so much work. Like, I felt so overwhelmed. And
you guys need to talk.
I felt really unappreciated by my boss. We'd be like, work was crazy. My boss is a trip.
And that's a problem.
And that's you guys. So you guys can definitely you could vocalize your emotions better. But I feel like emotional maturity, a big part of it is being able to control it, not freaking just unleash it.
But
to
You're
on
just
any
making
anybody.
it seem as if we get up miserable and mad at the world for no reason.
Not all the time. We were just talking about when y'all miserable, how it affects the unit as a whole. Like we could wake up miserable and the kids will still be happy running around and whatnot, right? The most that'll happen is sometimes like I'll have like my face will show it. So sometimes I might just be like, because I'm always like smiling and laughing and joking. So if I'm not doing those things, Jackson will come to me, my son, and he'll say, "Dad, you all right?" And I'll be like, "I'm all right," or I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'll be all right." And
there's a reasoning behind every woman's emotion. There's a reason behind it.
Of course, there's a reason. What I'm saying is, you guys need to learn to control it. Everyone shouldn't have to suffer, right? But everyone does suffer, which is why it's important. That's why men try our hardest. We try our damnedest to keep our significant others happy. Because when you're happy,
everybody's happy.
We get permitted to be happy. I say, like, we allowed to be happy. Y'all be miserable and you see us smiling, you be like, "What the hell are you smiling for?" Like, you gotta be miserable with me. It's like,
When I get there, I'll see. But on that note, we had a very good conversation about a lot of things today. Sad that we have to end it, but we have to cap it somewhere. So we'll resume next week. On that note, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Noel.
And this is Random Conversations. You can like, subscribe.
Yep. Follow us on all our platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Don't forget to comment. And any topics that you come across that you think might be interesting for us to cover, don't hesitate to send it our way.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.